going on, guys? It's your boy Ghost there, and today we got the Twid, aka the Twab, and some more information that came out yesterday. So I was gonna post it yesterday. We got some information. We talked about the economy and the future of the economy coming in the next season, but I figured why not just mash both of these together with the Twab, and this one's where y'all both get your information. So I'm sorry if you guys already know this information, you can skip past it. All right, first we're gonna get to the beginning of the part. They talk about what's gonna be it. So first in this Twab, we're getting raid date and time, veil containment. Let's talk about Warden's Law, W, week 2 of Solstice. Economy overhaul update, talked about this yesterday. Time to vote for the next trials map, a win for accessibility, and art of the week. Okay, so first off, first things first. It's almost time. Another raid experience is just around the corner. Coming up in season 22, we'll be reprising another raid for you to relive or maybe tackle for the first time. Although the name of the raid is still under wraps, we did want to make sure that we shared the date so you can start making those day one plans and preparations for the new season. The upcoming raid will go live Friday, September 2023. Mark your calendars because it's time to raid. A few things to keep in mind, just like King's Fall and Vault of Glass returned. Contest mode will be enabled for 48 hours. Completing the mode with contest mode active is the first step to access challenge mode in the directories and the secret triumphs. Completing the secret triumphs, which consists of a curated list of challenges that must be completed in the challenge mode, will be how our team snags the world's first team and get the sweet belt. To enforce the triumph requirement in challenge mode, your final team will wipe if you fail to succeed in failed to success editions during the encounter. Season 21 brought a few surprises. Hello, deep sea diving and fishing, and some new lore to uncover. The Season 21 Veil Containment is among those experiences, including delving more into what actually is this mysterious veil. To explore more about this feature in Season of the Deep, we've gotten the narrative team here to deep dive into both what the Veil Containment activity even is and some behind-the-scenes actions on developing it. Take it away, narrative team. Narrative team here. The Veil Containment repeatable activity continues to tell the story of Nia and Muda's history with the veil as introduced in Lightfall. If you haven't checked in Osiris and Nimbus yet, you might not be alone. And wanting Veil Containment to be more discoverable, we went a little too far in one direction and made the activity too hard to find. Even for the lore hounds interested in digging more into the veil, a lesson learned for any future content or sort. That is true, but let's be honest here. Is it really about not being hard to find, or is it just really no reason to go do it unless you want lore? It'd be different if the hand cannon they gave us, for example, was not locked rolls. So you could go through this, get a brand new roll with a hand cannon. This hand cannon looks sick, by the way. I forgot what it's called. Is it called? What is this hand cannon called, bro? Apocal integration. It's called Apocal integration. That hand cannon looks sick. It was on the freaking advertisements for Lightfall, and everybody was excited, wondering where it was at. And we got it, and it's a static roll, and the static roll isn't even that good. So it'd be different if we had a reason to run it for loot, some loot incentive. If we had like good perks on it and you could re-roll it, it'd be kind of goated. Anyway, moving on. For the folks who haven't done the Veil Containment yet, it begins after you complete the unfinished business quest at the end of Lightfall campaign and begin the Parting Veil quest. Parting the Veil quest. From here, you'll pursue the leads about unusual Vex activity, leading to the discovery of a hidden archival records in the Veil Containment facility. After successfully completing this mission, you can return to the Veil Containment node on the far bottom of the left side of the map. The encrypted recordings have been slowly unlocked week over week, but if you're just starting now, you can get multiple entries back to back as your leisure. Veil Containment will continue to unlock for the remaining 3 weeks of Season 21, and additional entries will unlock at the start of Season 22 and Season 23. Okay, we're going to read this whole thing. Listen, intro. This is more lore that we need to know, guys. We got to learn about the lore of this glorious game because it's about to end next year with the final shake. We got to know. Writing the story of the Veil Containment was an opportunity to dig into cosmic horror side of Destiny. Creating the encrypted records of the Ishtar scientist Chiyomo Essie, I don't know what the fuck her name is, and her wife researched an alien force was the chance to bring the essence of things like the SCP Foundation and the creepy podcast like Magnus Archives into Destiny. It is a different experience than what we're used to, where we follow along these peeled back layers of revelations with Osiris and Nimbus acting like researchers ourselves. True. Movies like The Altered States in 2001 and Space Odyssey helped inform the tone of the message you uncovered, all of which were underlined by an emotional story of Shioma Esi and Maya Sundaresh's lives and unraveling in the aftermath of the collapse in their contact with the Veil. We have even seen some keen-eyed players noticing similarities between what Maya attempts with the Veil and to what the Witness did in the sacrificing its own people. And even what Callus did with the Crown of Sorrows back in the Pack of Scorn. Those threads of thematic recurrence are intentional guidelines anchoring us to related moments in the past and help the curious delve into the deeper lore armed with a fistful of useful connotations. Oh, citations, I apologize. Another source of inspiration during the creation of the Veil Containment was the relation between our outside observer and the concept of the winnower mentioned in the Books of Sorrow. We wanted to explore the relationships people experience to cosmic otherworldly forces beyond their understanding, how it tears both their immoral and foundations and their sense of self apart at the seams. As we discovered with Osiris and Nimbus over the past few weeks, the Veil is a cosmic collective consciousness, a psychic network that spreads like mycelial network through the universe. There's an intentional visual and thematic connections to egregore them. Like the egregore spores on the Presage mission, IQ, but also an allusion to famous scene of Lord of the Rings where Gandalf warns Saruman about the use of Palantir. I have not read or seen or watched a single Lord of the Rings film, so I don't know what the hell this means. You don't know who else may be. Capturing that sense of the foreboding unknown is a staple of cosmic horror. The moment when you realize that your role in the universe is a small one, that the universe itself is uncaring, and the things that lurk that you were blissfully unaware of. As our cast is pushed through these harrowing experiences, it also sets the stage for the future of the final shape and beyond. The deep lore is out there. That was a good one. Hey man, hold on. I'm just saying, if they do want to push people to learn about this, because people want to learn about the lore, I guarantee they should really add some way to get different roles of this hand cannon. Because people would do it. And you would get some lore on the way out of there, just like, I forgot what activity did that. But you would get some lore, and you'd learn the game, and people would learn the game and get rewarded for doing it. I feel like it'd be fun. Instead of just rewarding people who just want lore. Because some people didn't even know you can redo it after you beat it the first time. From the weapons team, when we're looking at bringing weapons back for Nightfire rewards in this season, we knew we wanted to do something unique. The Warden's Law hand cannon fit the bill. It was a fun idea from back in the Forsaken days that never really caught on with players due to difficulty in landing both shots in the vertical spread that it's fired. So we thought to ourselves, how can we make the gun feel better to use while maintaining the identity it originally shipped with? We felt the most important thing was to move away from the idea of it firing at a spread, which is when multiple shots are fired at the same time with a single trigger pull, think shotguns, and allow it to fire at a burst, which when multiple shots are fired after one after another with a single trigger pull, think pulse rifles. The initial version of New Warden's Law was pretty much had it becoming a legendary version of Crimson, complete with a 3-round burst, but minus the healing on kills. And while it was fun and it never felt right, and I also felt like it took something away from Crimson itself. We went through several variants, including a handful of a handful that modified the time between the bullets and the burst, and before setting it on a 2-round burst with a slightly longer delay between shots. The normal burst fires at 900 RPM, with this one firing at 600 RPM. Next, we knew we had to tune it to give the players a reason to run this over the standard 120 RPM hand cannon. And we also knew we needed to make it feel as great to use while we're still leaving the room for perks and stats to improve it. We spent time focusing on several major parts of the equation: the damage per burst, the PvP time to kill, and the recoil pattern. Because the weapon is harder to use than a normal hand cannon, in that you must hit 2 shots in a burst with each trigger pull instead of just one, we decided to allow her to do slightly more critical hit damage and kill just as bit faster than something like Igneous Hammer. Oh, that's a little juicy scene that is coming back. Woo! We utilized the damage profile that aggressive frame hand cannons had and some years back, and dealing up to 90 damage per burst against players, 25 per body, 45 for crit. Then we slightly reduced the burst delay, the time between the bursts themselves, as opposed to the time between the shots within the burst, so that it's slightly faster than the 0.93 second time to kill instead of the standard 1 second. this could be pretty juiced. We were also very careful to tune the recoil pattern in such a way that it felt manageable at base level, but that still motivated players to utilize its perks to improve it. The pattern itself is doubly important because of the tightness of the burst that has direct impact on how usable the gun is at longer ranges. Since we were allowing the gun to deal more damage and kill more quickly, we did not want it to be able to reach the same maximum range as the standard 120s, so we designed the recoil pattern in such a way that without manual recoil control and little bit of health and perks, it would be more difficult to land 2 crits from the same burst at 35 meters plus, while still maintaining a smooth feel and decent ease of use at close ranges. We're really excited for you to all get this revamped weapon into your hands, and we hope you have as much fun shooting it as we did working on it. All right, so this is the stuff from the article they posted yesterday. Basically, they are quote unquote increasing the amount of upgrade material you can hold. So the old cap for ascended charge, these are golf balls. The golf balls you can hold you can now hold 30 instead of 10. For ascended alloy, that's the basketballs. You can hold 30 instead of 10, and for enhancement prisms, you can now hold 100. These are all great, but I'm letting you know now, these no longer go to the postmaster. So they said in the thing in the article before, I have it right here. They no longer go to the postmaster. So if you go over here, yeah. So have you ever lost track of AK ascended shards when you began, basically postmaster, or found yourself hitting the currency cap in liberation? So a big reason we're making this change to remove the risk of losing materials at the postmaster, and now that the caps have been increased, we are removing the ability for these items to go to the postmaster. If players have already have a full stack of these materials in their inventory, moving forward, they will behave like Glimmer, and the player won't receive any more of this item until they're below the cap. And they basically said that less than 1% hold and increased amount than what they have now in their postmasters. So 99% of the player base will benefit from these higher caps. I don't really know if it's true. They did say that if you have any of these materials in your postmaster, they will not be disappearing until you take them out. So if you want to bulk up now, do a whole bunch of GMs, send the order to postmaster on all your characters, and then when this change come through, have 30 on you, be a dub. So we'll see. Anywho, move on. Basically, now here's a new information right here. Not to mention in this article is that Dead Man's Tale will be added to the loot pool for the exotic mission rotator when prestige available. This will also make Dead Man's Tale craftable. So get those crafting points on, because it's about to go down for the DMT lovers, because you can craft it and grab it from the exotic mission rotator. This exotic scout rifle won't be part of Zer's wares in Season 22, but it'll always be part of our hearts. Now the situation is this is cool, this is great, but DMT is still bad. Like, they nerfed it into the ground. They buffed it a bit back a couple seasons ago, and it was really good. The point we saw it everywhere, and then they nerfed it, and now it's bad again. It seems like Bungie can just not find a happy medium with this gun, even though it's really fun. It's basically DMT. It's basically Last Word, but in scout rifle form. DMT is an amazing gun, and it's really fun to play with, and I want to play with it more, but it's trash right now. I'm not going to say trash. It's not the best. So more people... Okay, the word is, it's not trash, but it's not the best. So since it's not the best, people aren't using it. So it's got to find a happy medium to where it's still usable in the meta. So moving on, like I said, I'm not even moving on. This is great information. I'm glad that it's craftable, which means sooner or later, Hawk Moon is going to be craftable. And that's going to be some juice. Cathedral of Dusk, more like Cathedral of Must, or not, you decide. It's time for you to vote on what map will host the next Trials of Osiris battle. So we got Cathedral of Dusk. It's probably gonna be Anomaly. Don't nobody want to play Trials on these two maps. Everybody gonna vote for Anomaly, and that's pretty much it. Everything else to talk about. Oh, really important here though. Beginning next week, you'll be able to use your sparrows in Bonfire Bash. Amazing. I don't know why they took this out in the first place. Also, we're actively investigating a fix for a new issue that has been discovered further along the Solstice quest chain after update 7.1.5.1 went out. The issue has kept the kindling pop-up active for some players and further blocks quest progression when rekindling all armor on one character. So the fixing about this, here are all the known issues if you guys want to read and watch them. I hope you guys have an amazing rest today, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. All right, have a good one. Be easy. Love you guys. Stay easy. Peace and stay spooky.